then the next thing that we do after all that floor plan, site plan, space plan is figure out a site plan. So we're going to start with a blank file, okay? But it's set up for you. It's got the correct layers. It's got the correct units. Okay, and here we are back in decimal feet. This is where you see some people work in decimal feet fairly frequently, but the model itself is blank. Okay, and you'll be asked then to go through the process of creating a site plan. And the site plan is so that we can get used to doing angles, property lines, elevations, a wipeout. And this one isn't quite done. There's some text that needs to be put on here too. Some text that is due on here. But this gives you the idea. And it doesn't take a long time, but there's a standard. Now, this standard, in this case, the company is using a multi-liter with a tag number for the elevation. Often you'll see an actual elevation symbol there with the tag and the elevation written off of it. So this is probably one that I've only seen sometimes, but it lets us work with multi-tags, multi-liters as well. So I chose to do that with this standard. There's also a building pad, and there's something called a wipeout that allows you to kind of make a wiped out area over the top of it. And we'll talk about that also during lab. So this is a kind of a straightforward. You're going to start with a blank one, but you'll need to remember how to make angled lines. There's only one straight line that's horizontal in this one. All the others are at an angle. And I'll even give, this is a real property. The only difference between this and the real property is I chose to make this line segment straight, where normally there's a little bit of a radius before it turns into this straight part. And so if you're interested, in additional work, I can show you where to go get the property information on how to draw this one. So there we go. There's the last little part of sort of, these are past the basics. These are sort of intermediate level of doing wipeouts and leaders and doing multi-views and blocks and exporting files and changing paper spaces. Those are all tools that are used in many companies to get a drawing into the state that they want to use it in, and then to do things with it. And this one is the last step of it, where we're remembering how to do angled lines with degrees, minutes, and seconds, or surveyor's units. I think in this case, we're using surveyor's units because that's what's available to. So there we go. That is the site plan portion of the CAD doc work.